Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 2. Last time, we completed the Cave of Cross and made Celine a permanent party member. This time, we are pretty much set up the same way as before. I don't have any better items for you, do I? No, not particularly. Oh well. I guess I could probably give you more defense. Yeah, I'll give you more defense, sure. But yeah, everyone else is set up the same as before. Unfortunately, we really do need more defense than we have. Actually, you know, no, Leaf Pendant is exclusive to Ren. I don't think anyone else can equip that. Otherwise, I'd give that to Claude for my specific method for grinding up the levels and skill points we need in order to get a bunch of money. Now, in order to do that, we want to head over here. And when we get over here, we want to get about right there, and then we want to save. Absolutely save before coming in here. We'll put it over that one. Sure, why not? And once you do that, the other option you could do is you could use a save state, which I'm going to do as well. And then you head into here. You're not supposed to come here yet. And the enemies here are really, really, really hard, except for these guys. If you get lucky enough to find the right enemies, these ones, they die really easily. And I think they absorb some MP. And I've set Celine on using Ray since it's the most powerful attack. But yeah, you're not supposed to be here yet. Coming here gets you a lot of experience really quickly. Yeah, like that's almost as much as the last boss fight gave you. And as soon as you do one fight, leave, save. Because you're not going to live very long fighting enemies in there. So basically, each time you do that, you go in, you save over and over again, and I'm going to make the save state again, and go back in, try and fight an enemy. Hang around the entrance, because if you go too deep, you'll run into another enemy in order to get out. This is likely going to get me killed, but we're going to show this off anyway. We learned Cure Light last time for Rena. It's way better than heal, so never use heal again. And use press to attack the mage, because if the mage gets an attack off, like Bloodsucker, it's not going to end well for you, and they do way too much damage. So hopefully Claude just kills her real quick. Okay. So we need to hit you and distract you for a minute. Hopefully Ray's enough to take care of the enemy, and then I have to heal Claude ASAP. Okay. Hopefully that mage is dead now, because someone needs to heal. Get the heal off. Yeah, as you can see, does a lot. Wow, I'm surprised I survived that. You can run into a lot of enemies. And we learned Energy Arrow, which is another actually useful spell for Celine, surprisingly. I'm surprised I did 2 battles in a row in there. Usually it's 1, die 5 times, and then win 1 more. So I am really happy with my results. I'm not going to do all of this on screen, but I would like to show off which enemies to run away from or which battles to run away from. Just, you know, if you're running in here. Don't go any deeper than like the shadow that I was just in there.
They look pretty tough.
2 mages? I might be in trouble.
Energy.
Uh-oh. So that thing, yeah, I'm dead. So what happened there? I'm just going to, I'm not going to do that. That's not happening. The spell there and the reaction absorb thing there, basically that's a combination spell. If 2 spells are cast at the exact same time, the most powerful one, these guys might end up killing me.
Energy arrow. But
the 2 spells will merge, and the stronger one absorbs the other one. As you can see, it does quite a bit of damage, and we're on healing duty. Unfortunately, the jumping AI really sucks. Oh, look at that! We got it killed. Energy arrow is going to save my ass in here, isn't it? Yep, it is. Uh-oh. Gotta heal. Oh, crap. I can't heal him. I gotta run away. If you need healing instantly, blueberries work instantly. Ray is not what I wanted you to do. Energy Arrow would have been a better choice.
Can't afford to
Energy
lose.
arrow.
Okay, hopefully that takes it out, because that will make me survive. I'm gonna have to use another blueberry, I think.
Mother.
Well, that sucks. Press?
Breath.
That's about the only way I'm gonna survive. You don't really want to mix up the experience like this, so yeah, I think it's pretty much it, and I can't revive without spending more money than I have. So, yeah. And because the AI is really stupid and won't cast another spell even though she's doing nothing. Don't you love the AI in this game? Let's go on fast forward. Wow, look at that. Got close enough, so you did something. Yeah, I'm not.
It was
Well,
just okay.
I actually might go with that.
I did it.
I got 2 levels. Sure, why not? We'll keep that in. Now's the time where you got to run all the way back to heal them. But basically, if there's more than 3 enemies, run. Unless it's those round balls we saw at the start, they don't do a lot of damage. I think what they do is they absorb MP, so you're pretty much invincible in those fights. And you fight like 7 or 8 of them in some of the battles, and it gives you whack tons of experience. So I'm going to keep doing this until I get better levels than those. I think it's like 14 or 15 is what I'm looking for, and that's going to give me enough to get enough perseverance points in. To, let's see, what do I have for money right now? 13,360. 14,160. Basically, I think by the time it gets to level 4, you're getting 2,000 gold or full. So I'm gonna level up my characters to about that point, and once I start getting enough money to clear what I need 40,000. That's how much money I need to get in order to do what I want to do. And I will go into why we're doing this now instead of waiting till later when I finish doing all of that.
Find me.
Shooting stars.
Okay, I'll throw this one in there just because this is what I was talking about of fighting a whole bunch of these guys. You're basically invincible in here, and you can just keep spamming away on these guys. They'll eat up your MP, but I'm not particularly worried about that because other than Celine, I don't really need a lot of MP. I just need a lot so she can keep casting Energy Arrow, which is doing a lot of damage at this point. But yeah, this is the first battle after I went to go heal at Cross there. Yeah, look at all that experience and decent money too.
Oh, good.
And we learned Silence, and you learned Forget, neither of which are particularly important. Okay, we're back. And we're in the port of Hurley. The reason why we're here is this is where we needed to spend our 40,000 gold, or full, that I was trying to farm. And as you can see, I've gained a bunch of levels, and in doing so, I've mastered Perseverance, got up to level 10, which is mastered on all 3 of my characters. And we learned some other things in the meantime, so let's just show those off real quick. Silence, I think we already had, or maybe we learned it. Ray, we learned for Rena, which is her best spell right now. Silence is the enemy. It doesn't seem to work very often. I used it once and it didn't work, so I was like, whatever. Let's see here. For you, we learned Starlight, which does about 150 to 300 damage to pretty much every enemy on the screen. So that's better than Ray. We also learned Forget. I think we did that on screen. Makes spells ineffective. I don't know if that works either, so I'm not going to worry about it. Ray's not very powerful, considering Starlight is way stronger for cheaper, so I'm not sure why that is, but we're going to stick with Starlight. Do note there are a lot of elemental affinities in this game, and they all pretty much boil down to nothing, because very few enemies are immune to specific elements that we're going to be using, and very few of our weapons are elementally based, so we don't have to worry about healing enemies or anything like that very often. We also learned the ability Head Splitter for Claude there. I'm not a big fan of Head Splitter, though I've seen some people make good use of it. I'll put it on and he can take a use of it. Shooting Stars is kind of his better move now. I'll try and show off what it does close range and long range going forward. Anyway, look at the amount of money we have. 19,800 something. let's go into skills. And let's go to playfulness. Let's level this up until it stops costing 1. No, let's do 1 more for good measure. And I got 40,000. Yeah, that's how much money you get from this, and that's why it's worth doing. You don't have to go all the way to this point. Like, I'm over-leveled. I probably could have stopped at level 14 or level 15, but I'm just trying to make things easier as far as recording goes. So we're just going to go like that, and yeah, look at that. You get like 13,000 from each of those. Do one on you as well. And that's about all the points I want to waste into that for now. Now that I've got more than enough money, let's go into the port of Hurley, and we're going to buy something that I didn't bother to show off before. Yeah, now I'll go into all the details about why we need this when we move over to Click there, which is where we'll be heading somewhat next. Anyway, the antique dealer, the grasping hand. What is with all these weird ones? Lord of the His name is Lord of the Turtles. What in the hell? Anyway, we want to buy the Bandit's Glove, which costs 40,000. Reason why I saved up all the money for it. The other thing I want to pick up is a couple of those and a couple of those since I have the extra money. If you don't have the extra money, don't worry about it. It's just to make my life a little easier. And a couple of blackberries as well. You could pick up aquaberries too, but we're not going to need that very, very shortly. You'll find out why. The other thing you had to make sure you've already done here is pick up the spell thing in the Guildmaster's place so that you could learn Perseverance and whatever the other one was, Playfulness in the first place, so you could get all the money that you needed to get this. Anyway, I'm going to go meet you at Click. If you don't remember where it is, I'll show you where it is on the world map before we enter. Okay, I lied. We're back here at Cross. Now, in order to do what I want to do, and that's work with the Bandit's Gloves I got, which give you absolutely nothing as far as stats go, it is needed for it's not really an item creation thing, but it's part of the item creation system in essence. And so if you go into your skill menu, press triangle, you'll see how far along we've worked at individual item creation skills or those types of things. Oops. Well, what we want to do is we want to raise Poker Face and Courage, which allows us to learn pickpocketing. And pickpocketing is a very useful skill in this game, and as you can see, because I've mastered out Perseverance, all of these are really easy to do. So we get all the way up to there, and I'm going to do one more. Got level 6, which is kind of what I was going for. The higher your level is with it, the better. And it's also the reason way back at the start of the game, I told you to make sure your lead character has the dexterity talent. Because if they don't, they'll be damn near useless at this, and the success rate of pickpocketing is really low anyway. By the way, I forgot to go into which things I wanted for her. I wanted dexterity and originality, but I didn't get it, and I'd forgotten to reload to get it. So we got the sense of design instead, so I think I'll work on that with her as well. She also has Blessing of Mana and Love of Animals, which doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So we've learned that we can now pickpocket. The game doesn't really say much about this, but if you want to pickpocket, you just go up to anyone and you press the square button. Now, I'm going to go into private action form because anytime you do any pickpocketing with characters in your party, your relationship points with all of those characters will lower as you pickpocket, whether you're successful or not. So basically how this works, I'm just going to make a save state here. You approach somebody, sometimes it fails. Sometimes it succeeds. For the most part, it doesn't really matter, but there are, because there's a lot of items, and now I'll go in editing and I'll put up the image of all the different items that you can pickpocket in this area. Not who gives you each individual one, but at least, you know, the basic one, you know, what items you can get from the area. I'm going to try and show off the more useful ones. There's one in the bar. Now, the thing is, anytime you fail to pickpocket somebody, you cannot pickpocket them again in the entire game. So you only have one shot at this. Save states makes this a lot easier, but wow, I got it. Nice. That one's pretty rare to get. But even if you don't have save states, all you have to do is run outside and reload or whatever. So I wouldn't try stealing from more than a couple of people at once. Okay. Yeah, the dog doesn't like you stealing from him, so I'm going to load that state. I'm just going to go outside and save and keep doing this over and over again until I get it, because like even if you're using save states and you load and try and steal again, it's not going to work. You either have to pickpocket from somebody else, talk to somebody else, zone in and out, or something in order to change the RNG so that it'll let you steal. And even then, it doesn't work all that often. The items I'm getting in Cross aren't particularly useful, doesn't matter a super lot, but it's definitely beneficial to grab them while we're in the area. I skipped over the town of Mars for a specific reason, and that's because I think if you do a private action there, stop that, then it'll give you, I think it starts a private action chain that I don't want to start right now. So I'm not going to do that right away. See, I've zoned in. Now I might, no, it's still going to give me grief. If I go and zone the same screen over again, it still won't work. So anyway, I'm going to do the rest of this off screen, and then I'll show you me actually stealing from the dog on screen. Okay, there we go. Only took another couple of minutes, but we got the Orichalcum, which is a very rare gem that we're not going to get access to a lot of them early on. And apparently it flies, and it was from Atlantis. A lot of the menu descriptions are rather ridiculous. Speaking of these descriptions, any of the T's in this game were censored in the North American version of the game, and actually, yeah, this one restores 60% MP to all party members. It's actually really, really good. Later on, we'll be able to, I think, reproduce them, but not now. But yeah, they've all been changed. They all used to be alcoholic beverages. All of the teas in the game were once alcoholic beverages. That also, yeah, you know, it's like polishing rice gives the premium tea its divine taste. The rice in tea? No, the rice in rice wine. It was either wine or sake or beer or cider, whatever. They just changed it all because why the hell not? Okay, now the thing is, if you created a private action, then the characters in here, I can't remember what she gives me. No, it's not going to work. Okay. But, yeah, I'm to make my life easier, I'm not going to bother trying to hem and haw through it. I will be using save states to steal from most people. You can steal from everyone, but as you saw from the image I put up earlier with all the ability or all the items you can steal, a lot of it's not really worth it. I'm only going to go after the ones that are specifically worthwhile stealing. First floor, I think it's you that I want to steal from. Sorry for that cut. I hit the save state like a millisecond after hitting the load state that went to a completely different part of the disc, namely the end of the disc. So anyway, you steal from him, you get a camera. That meant I had to do the last 10 minutes of this episode all over again, which was not a lot of fun. But anyway, we're set up now. Oh boy, that was fun. Okay, so because we haven't, we're not on Renna's path, Princess Rosalie is still here. And of course, I'm not going to be able to get it. So give me a sec. Okay, there we go. Get the silk robe from her, which I don't have Celine right now, but I will give that to her in a moment. And then we want to head over here. You can steal a unique item from the prince on Renna's path if you happen to have him in there. That's the wrong side. I want to go into the waiting room because there's something I want to get from the guy over there. But it's not particularly useful. It's like a regal crown or a dream crown or something like that. Let's see, is it this one? I don't know if it's that one. Maybe it's the other one. Unfortunately, when the enemies or the guys are this far in, a lot of the time it's just run back and forth over and over again and get lucky. Sometimes you have to fail against somebody, like... Okay, I can't talk to you. I just want to get my item. The pickpocketing system, that's not the one I want. Sorry, I just hit my mic, but yeah, I want to get the one from the other guy. The banded helm, which is slightly better and saves me a very small amount of money if I was too lazy to go buy it, which apparently I am. I believe that's all the ones we need from around here. If you're on Rena's path, you would want to steal from Claude in a private action, because I think you get a shield upgrade for him. Again, a lot of the minor upgrades, you know, I'm not like, you could get or skip most of this stuff. The only one that's really important is probably the Orichalcon, and you're going to get more of them later anyway, so it probably doesn't matter too much. But I'm going to go head back to the previous towns that we've seen and do any of the pickpocketing we need to, which will include Salva and Hurley, and I will meet you there. Okay, we're back in Salvo. We're in the bar, specifically. We get the resurrection bottle here, and you do want to steal from the bartender, get the spring water. Basically, the reason why I will be stealing a bunch of resurrection bottles early on in the game is because they're so bloody expensive to get normally. There's one more we can get in here if I'm lucky. There we go. Didn't even need all those save states. Look at that. And what else? I can't remember what my character's given here. But I think potentially... No, it's not you. Is there another you, maybe? Of course, that's not going to work now. A lot of the time, just stealing from one person changes if you'll successfully get it or not. Like, I loaded a save state before, I successfully stole the 24 full, and this time I was able to get the paralysis check. So there's an option there if you're, you know, using an emulator and you feel like doing that. I'm going to check to see what our characters have. One sec. Okay, so they don't have anything particularly valuable, so I will meet you in Arlia. Okay, one of the most difficult items to get in here is this one, the Rainbow Diamond. Again, it's like the Orichalcon. It's another stone for alchemy, and you don't absolutely have to get it, but Orichalcon's going to be more readily accessible than Rainbow Diamond, so I would recommend you pick up that if you could. And Celine should have... Of course not. She's supposed to have some spring water, so we'll see if we can grab that from her. Or not. The other one I want to pick up is from the mayor, who has a resurrection bottle. Again, the reason I'm picking up the resurrection bottles is just so I don't feel bad about having to waste one if I happen to need it. And there's the spring water. The spring water is pretty much your best friend in this game. Let's take a quick look here. Anything highlighted in green instead of white is an item you've got recently. So let's see. I got there's a few items on here that I didn't get, that didn't show on screen as I was trying to steal and get the other stuff when I screwed up the recording there. So one of I didn't talk about the magic cameras for item creation. We'll need that for later. Pet food is specifically if you want to call a shop in a dungeon. We don't have the skills for that yet, but we'll get into that. This is a failed piece of item creation. Aloe jam. Am I mistaken here, or is aloe like the stuff you find in like hand lotion and stuff? Why would you make that into jam? Am I not understanding what aloe is, or is this just a weird translation? I don't want to know. Let's see here. Spring water. It doesn't tell you what it does. It cures poison, paralysis, and petrify. The three big status effects in this game, mainly because they're the only real status effects in this game. But yeah, so a paralysis check. I wanted to get that. It's an accessory that protects you against paralysis, so I might as well give that to Claude since I have nothing better to put on him right now. Also, I got this from one of the enemies I was fighting to do my level grinding. And so, yeah, it cuts out all flames directed at the wearer with probability of 1/2. I'm not sure if it actually does that or if it just protects you against fire and makes you weaker against water. But most of the things that say it protects you with a probability, usually that means it has a chance of breaking. So yeah, that's a unique aspect to Star Ocean games. The accessories we have a chance of breaking, so usually anything that has a chance of breaking I don't want to use. I will talk about one specific situation that can be really, really abusive, but that's not until disc 2. Okay, so that's all the items I wanted to get here for now. So yeah, we could also do our stealing in Hurley, but we can do that later when we are supposed to head back there. We did all the stuff we needed to in Cross. Mars, you could pick up a new weapon for by stealing for Celine there if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't worry too much about it because we're not going to fight too much before the plot directs us to go back there anyway. So other than that, the only one left is the port town of Click, and we've already been there off screen, or we've been there on screen, but I will meet you there at the start of the next episode when we get around to that. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.